Have you ever wondered why Michael Jordan never joined a super team like the ones we see in today's NBA? What exactly makes a team a super team? Usually, it's when several established stars join forces on one roster to dominate the league. Think of the Miami Heat with LeBron, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh, or the Golden State Warriors with Curry, Durant, and Thompson. But in Jordan's time, that kind of star stacking didn't really happen. He spent most of his prime with the Chicago Bulls, building a dynasty not by gathering other superstars, but by outplaying the competition together. Jordan didn't need a classic super team. He made the Bulls a championship team through excellence, leadership, and teamwork. So what made him different from today's players? How did he build greatness without stacking stars? Stay tuned to find out. And if you love deep NBA stories, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more content from G.O.A.T Report. The Bulls dynasty started with a core. When Michael Jordan joined the Chicago Bulls in 1984 as the third overall pick, the team was struggling. The Bulls were far from a contender, and the franchise desperately needed a star player, someone who could change the culture and lead the team. That player turned out to be Jordan. Unlike modern super teams, where multiple stars come together on an already strong roster, the Bulls weren't built with stacked talent. Instead, the organization focused on building around Jordan. They drafted smartly, hired coaches who could maximize his skills, and added support players who fit specific roles to complement his game. Players like Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant weren't household superstars when they joined, but they became crucial pieces because of how well they fit into Jordan's system. Jordan didn't join a pre-made team of stars. He stayed with the Bulls, grew with them, and turned a weak franchise into a championship-winning organization. The team's success came from development, teamwork, and leadership, not from simply collecting star names. Jordan led the Bulls to greatness from the ground up, showing that a true dynasty is built, not assembled. Scottie Pippen. If there was one player who was truly Jordan's partner during the Bulls' championship years, it was Scottie Pippen. Pippen wasn't just a role player. He was a superstar himself. He earned multiple All-NBA and All-Defensive honors, and his skills allowed Jordan to thrive. Pippen's ability to handle the ball, defend at a high level, and make plays created space and opportunities for Jordan to do what he did best: dominate the game. Jordan has often said that Scottie was his greatest teammate and that he couldn't have won all 6 titles without him. But even Pippen wasn't a star brought in from another team just to join Jordan. He was drafted by the Bulls and acquired early in his career through trades related to draft picks. Over time, he developed into the ideal complement to Jordan's style. Their partnership grew naturally through development, practice, and mutual trust. It wasn't the kind of super team we see today, where multiple established stars leave other contenders to join forces. In fact, no other player besides Pippen was with Jordan for all 6 championships. This is another clear sign that the Bulls dynasty wasn't built by stacking stars from other teams. It was built through careful development, strategic drafting, and creating the right fit around Jordan. Pippen wasn't just a teammate. He was the perfect partner, proving that a team can achieve greatness without assembling a modern-day super team. Supporting cast. Michael Jordan's Bulls were filled with excellent role players, but these guys weren't superstars when they first joined the team. Players like Tony Kukoc, Steve Kerr, and later Dennis Rodman made huge contributions, but they didn't arrive as established stars looking to form a super team. Rodman, for example, became a Hall of Famer later in his career. But when he came to Chicago, he was known mainly for his rebounding and defense, not for scoring or star-level dominance. Other important contributors like Ron Harper, Luke Longley, and Bill Cartwright were solid role players, not high-profile stars who left other teams to join Jordan. Each player had a specific purpose, and their skills were carefully used to complement Jordan and Pippen. This was a team built around strategy, roles, and balance, not a group of stars assembled to dominate because of individual talent alone. Every role mattered. Pippen defended the opponent's best player. Rodman controlled the boards and set the tone with defense. Kerr, Kukoc, Harper, and the others executed exactly what the coach needed for the team to succeed. Their contributions weren't about personal glory. They were about fitting together to win. This approach is very different from modern super teams, where multiple stars often come together as equals. The Bulls' success came from building a strong team with defined roles, discipline, and trust, not by stacking superstars. They became great because of teamwork, not because of a pre-built superstar roster. Era didn't easily build super teams. Another reason Michael Jordan never formed a classic super team is that the NBA of the 1980s and 1990s didn't make stacking stars easy. Free agency and salary rules were very different back then. Teams could pay their own players more, but signing multiple star players together was difficult because of strict cap rules. For example, in the late 1990s, the NBA salary cap was much lower than it is today. Jordan's 1997-98 Chicago Bulls had total salaries that were more than double the cap. But they were allowed to do this because of special rules. These rules let teams re-sign their own players at high salaries without counting fully against the cap. This helped the Bulls keep Jordan, Pippen, and key role players together. But it also meant creating a new team by adding multiple stars from other franchises was almost impossible. Even if Jordan had wanted to bring in another superstar from a different team, the rules made it extremely hard. Unlike today, where stars can freely join each other to create super teams, Jordan's era was about building greatness within your own roster. His Bulls became a dynasty through development, smart management, and team balance, not by stacking pre-existing stars. Jordan didn't avoid help. Even though Michael Jordan never joined a super team, he didn't win alone. He worked with the Bulls management to build a team that could compete at the highest level. Jordan didn't want to carry the team by himself. He wanted players who could complement his game and help the team succeed together. During The Last Dance, he explained that he wanted to see if the Bulls could win as a team, especially when critics doubted they could succeed without Scottie Pippen. This approach was very different from how modern super teams are formed. Jordan didn't chase other superstar names just to have stars around him. Instead, he focused on finding teammates who fit his style perfectly. Whether it was role players like Steve Kerr, Horace Grant, or Dennis Rodman, each player had a specific job that made the Bulls balanced and hard to guard. This smart team building allowed the Bulls to adapt in the playoffs and perform at the highest level year after year. By focusing on fit, teamwork, and shared purpose, Jordan and the Bulls created a dynasty that won 6 NBA championships: 1991, 1992, 1993, 1996, 1997, and 1998, proving that greatness doesn't always need a super team. Jordan versus super team culture. Michael Jordan has often shared his thoughts on super teams, and he wasn't a fan. He believed that when star players join forces only to win, it can hurt the league. It creates a few extremely strong teams while leaving many others weak, which reduces competition and excitement for fans. In Jordan's eyes, that wasn't how basketball should be played. This mindset came from his generation of players. Legends like Magic Johnson also avoided teaming up with other stars just to dominate. Magic competed against the best rather than joining them, and Jordan admired that approach. Jordan grew up in an era where the goal was simple: beat the best on your own team without relying on assembled stars. That philosophy shaped his career and his teams. The Bulls dynasty wasn't built by collecting stars. It was built by hard work, smart team building, and competing at the highest level every single night, facing strong competition. Another reason Michael Jordan never needed a super team is that his Bulls often faced very strong opponents. The NBA in the 1990s wasn't full of weak teams. Early in Jordan's career, the Detroit Pistons were a powerhouse, known as the Bad Boys for their tough physical style. Later, teams like the Seattle Supersonics, the Utah Jazz, and even the New York Knicks provided elite competition in the finals. Jordan and the Bulls didn't rely on stacking stars to win. Instead, they focused on preparation, strategy, and teamwork. Every player had a role, and the team executed at the highest level. Scottie Pippen, role players, and Jordan himself all contributed to this system of excellence. Winning 6 NBA championships against top-tier opponents without assembling a modern-style super team proves one thing: Jordan's approach worked. Success came from building the right team culture, developing talent, and competing at an elite level, not by buying multiple stars to dominate the league. Legacy. If you define a super team as a group of star players joining together just to win, Michael Jordan's Bulls don't fit that definition. They weren't built by top stars leaving other teams to unite with him. Instead, the Bulls grew through smart drafts, excellent coaching, and players who fit perfectly around Jordan's style. Every player knew their role, and the team shared a strong drive to win. Over time, the Bulls did become something like a super team, with Hall of Famers, elite role players, and a dynasty spanning years. But their greatness came from development, teamwork, and strategy, not simply assembling stars from elsewhere. So, why did Michael Jordan never need a super team? Could he have built a dynasty with other stars stacked around him? The truth is, the NBA rules in his era didn't really allow that. The Bulls built their team around Jordan with players who fit his style, not just famous names. He valued competition, balance, and teamwork over simply stacking talent. His success came through leadership, development, and shared purpose, proving you don't need a super team to be a champion. What do you think? Could anyone today dominate the NBA the way Jordan did without creating a modern super team? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more stories and insights from GOAT Report.